Welcome back, everybody. This is the Barcode Mixer. We are here at a brand new location, Bistro Ocho. Is it Bistro Ocho or Bistro 8?
Absolutely. Bistro Ocho.
Bistro Ocho, okay. And today, we're with Frank Padilla. Frank is the GM.
Thank you very much. Frankie's a little bit more youthful for me.
Frankie, all right, Frankie. And if you've noticed, just from down the road, we have Eli with us today. Eli joining us as a special co-host.
Half of Código de Barra.
Half of Código de Barra, bartender at La Trova, the whole nine. Artist as well.
God. Just Eli. Just Eli, and we're interviewing Frankie.
Yeah.
There we go.
Speaking of, I need an artist, so maybe we can talk after this.
Absolutely.
Oh, there you go. She just did over at Shiso.
Shiso, yeah.
Shiso.
Oh,
she just did like a thing where they had her art installation. She also bartended. It was a lot of fun.
I like those kind of collabs. Wonderful.
Oh, when is that? November 23rd. ¿Qué día cae un lunes? Oh, perfect. I'm usually off. Oh, my wife is off too, so maybe we
Nice. Please come by.
Yeah, and it's not a school night for her. She didn't go one Monday because she works on Tuesdays. So
Will it be in the Eagle Room area?
In all the places.
Oh, that's awesome.
We're going to have like different ambience.
Yeah, love it. I'll crash. I'll crash.
So Frankie, talk to us, man. So you're here.
Well,
when did this place open?
Well, happy to be here. Thanks first and foremost for the invite.
No, for sure. Big shout out to Mata Santa who put us together.
100%.
Daniel over there. So
we'll talk about that connecting bridge, I'm sure, at some point tonight. But yeah, I mean, I'm Frankie Padilla. I'm born and raised here in Miami. I've worked in the hospitality industry now since 18. So, I'm proudly going on 21 years of all sorts of great, amazing restaurants throughout the city, from fine dining to polished casual to, the easy breezy life of Yardbird and Stiltsville Fish Bar type stuff,
Nice. Worked at Stiltsville too?
I did.
With Hansel or before?
No, before. So I was there 2017 to 2020.
Nice.
Yeah. And, I moved up to New York actually. And I was running a restaurant up in New York City.
Which place?
It was called Jeans in NoHo.
Okay.
An amazing property. They own a farm in New Hope, Pennsylvania. So they source all their produce.
So it's farm to table?
It's not even like something as described as that. It's what it's supposed to be. Food grown and served.
Right.
There's a lot of people that take the food to table concept, created into the trend, and aren't we all buying from farms and serving it on our tables?
We hope.
That's the we shouldn't be highlighting that,
Right.
But it's really great to be able to like work with ingredients like that, work with farmers, and that sense of responsibility you have, it's
Right.
It really helps when you're in a somewhat of a wasteful style of industry.
For sure.
Yeah. And when I came back from New York, I had this amazing opportunity to open up Bistro Ocho. Met with the ownership, met with the chef, truly inspiring, business owners that, don't want to take what's happening in Miami. They want to show you where they come from in Miami. And to have found this location, which is a prime location for what's to come for the future. Little Havana's growing. All these residential buildings are stacking up. I hope we don't lose the essence of where it all got built from. However, this is a beautiful addition to it. Super elevated focus on the modern Mexican kitchen. And to be able to bring this space that feels like the neighborhood vibe, that's meant for the community.
For sure.
It's not meant to attract all the tourists for one big show and then, not see you again for a while. Like, really beautiful concept.
Yeah.
And menu is gorgeous too. I mean, look around too. It's a
It's
beautiful
a
space,
beautiful space.
Yes.
It really is.
All the arcs are like.
That's one of the things too, is like, even though Miami, I'm just making sure we're still recording here. Okay. Even though my monitor, even though that it's still gonna bring tourism. I was at Sandwich right before picking up cocadigas y cafe, and like, bro, the amount of tourists that were walking in there was crazy. But I think it brings a different kind of tourist, right? It doesn't bring that, party, nightlife, South Beach, Brickell people. It brings the people that want to see, they want to experience culture. Right, they're coming here for a Cuban sandwich, a croqueta, coffee, and it's really cool to see, man. Because honestly, this is my neighborhood. I grew up on 9th Street and 5th Avenue. Lived there for most of my life. So for me to
You
see
play at that basketball court, Triangle Park?
Triangle Park. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got my sneakers robbed at Triangle Park.
Really?
That was a different time.
Dude,
Dude,
my bad, dude.
That
I
was a
needed
different
sneakers
time.
at
I had
that time.
to walk home barefoot. It
Really?
sucked.
I had lived for a year in the building right in front of the Triangle Park.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know that building.
To walk out of your building and cross the street and play basketball.
Yeah,
Wow, what a great
that was
feeling.
nice. Triangle Park was one of the few places that I can walk to without adult supervision. Like when I got old enough, because it was right there.
Yeah.
And then
You guys were neighbors.
kind of, yeah,
Maybe you like played together and don't remember.
maybe.
Well, I was a Kendall kid up until like 2000.
Oh, you were a hood?
Yeah. I was very South Kendall, very West Kendall.
There you go.
Little Havana, coming from somebody who grew up and raised here, like, how do you feel about its growth?
It took me. That's a really good question. It took me a while because the Little Havana, I've seen so many different phases of it. Right, when I was a kid, it was a really good neighborhood. Like when I was a little kid, right, it was really good. It was safer, and then around 96, 98, it got really rough. Like really, really rough. You had a lot of gangs, really, like, specifically on my block, you had a gang that was calling themselves the 9th Street Warriors that were like a subset of another larger gang. I don't know what they were, but and it was a lot of that. And my grandma's building, it's one of those, like, it's a 2-story building and it's open. So like the hallways, it's basically her front door is
Anybody
here.
can walk through.
Anybody
Yeah.
could walk through, right? From the front door, from the front street to the parking lot, and then they cut through. So there was nights where I'd be sleeping and you would hear like people running from like fights or whatever, and you started hearing the gunshots and stuff like that, and it became scary for a short period of time. So to see it come back to what it was, maybe, I don't know, when the first Cubans started to arrive, right? Like when people like the Valles family opened up Versailles and all the, because this used to be all a Jewish neighborhood.
Yeah.
This was all Jews, and then the Cubans started coming in. My aunt actually owns Lo Pinareño fruit shop.
Really?
Yeah, so like that's
Right.
that's all in the family. So to watch the transition to it going back to like now that's one of the main reasons I like driving through 8th Street when I get out of work, because I love seeing the action at, Ball and Chain, the people standing out at La Trova, and then you have Albert right next door now, and like you see, and it's such a different crowd because the Ball and Chain people are like somewhat touristy, kind of like in the 20 to 30 or the 30 to 40 range. Then you go to La Trova and it's like a little more locals, and then like the 40 to 50 range. And then right next door to Arbor, you got a bunch of 20-year-olds like
Yeah.
hanging out and like, top hats and scarves and shit. And it's like, this is fucking cool.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I mean? And long, in a very long-winded way, I'm going to say it took me a while to get used to it, but I do like it.
Yeah.
I do like it.
I will say that, like, what I enjoy is seeing the demographic grow wider, in its age range.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, like, it didn't seem like a young people's part of town, other than when what was that speakeasy bar that was down over by the end? That was on the 2nd floor.
Oh,
taco
on top of the
restaurant.
taco place.
Yeah.
I forget what it was called, but
La Santa, something like that.
no, La Santa is closer to here. You're talking about the one that's on that's
Yeah,
right on 5th Avenue.
Yeah,
Or down, like right by 5th
yeah,
Avenue.
right by 5th.
Yeah. I forget what it was called.
And you have to scream tequila to get into them.
Oh.
Yeah.
That used to be a banquet hall up there.
Yeah, I
Right on
remember. But like, other than that, it was like, it felt like a very much older place to hang out.
Yeah.
Mad credit to the fam over at Ohco for
coming back.
kind of bringing it back. And,
Yeah.
I used to hear so many stories of Ohco from my older brothers, like,
Yeah.
and their visits to Spam All-Stars,
Spam.
yeah, man. They were residents there at Ohco for so many years, I think.
About that.
And to see them kind of bring a new face and a new life to the property, along with the Eagle Room and the backyard and
Right.
everything. It's gorgeous. Oddbirds opening up is amazing.
Yeah.
Kudos to them. Cool cocktail program.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do cool stuff there too, because
Yeah.
they do like a comedy night twice a month or once a
I
month.
think that's one thing that Miami needs to like really further expand on, and have
The comedy
these
scene, yeah.
have these businesses, you know, that can host events like that, where we
Right.
can showcase a little bit more of the creatives in this world,
Yeah.
or at least our world of Miami.
Yeah.
You know, give a bigger stage for comedians for sure. Like, it's almost like rarely do you get a cool comedy show you get to go to, and it's either the Improv or, you know, waiting
there's
for
only,
an
like,
invite.
one
Yeah.
or two places in Miami that are really doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
And just like, you know, or live art, you know, paintings, and I would podcasts, you know, in restaurants. Like, I would love to see a little bit more of that happening.
So do I.
Yeah.
So do I. I think it's, you know, and like people, you know, it's funny when so these guys started a show recently called Código de Barra, which is
Okay.
like Barcode Mixer, but Código de Barra completely in Spanish. They interview, you know, local people, a lot of in this neighborhood, because you guys
Yeah.
did.
We're trying to get out of Calle Ocho, but like there's a lot of content and a lot of people that
For
are
sure.
like interviewing Calle Ocho.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So
I was
Latinos.
thinking about I was
Yeah.
thinking about it the other day. I was like, when are we gonna get out of Calle Ocho? But I think we could do like 3 seasons in Calle Ocho.
You probably
Yeah.
could.
Yeah.
You probably could.
Talk to us a little bit about Bistro A for the people that haven't been to this beautiful space.
No, for sure. I mean, Bistro Ocho was conceptualized by natives, you know, and they actually started Showa Hospitality Group as part of our big group. They started Showa Hospitality Group with Taco Stand.
Oh, it's the same owners.
Yeah, a taco
wow.
stand right next door. They have the one in Wynwood, and they had opened up this year Lincoln Road, with Sawgrass Mills being another one they're going to open. But there's a bunch. There's like 17 taco stands around the country. You know, they're doing amazing with the taco stand. And as I mentioned to you guys earlier, our owners are also big, you know, lovers of the Japanese culture.
Right.
They started getting into like omakase restaurants. So, you know, hidden, as some of us may know, who
Right.
have been there. I've had the luxuries of enjoying that, a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
Is also part of our group, you know. And when Pancho Ibanez joined the family of Showa Hospitality, you know, it was a no-brainer to bring everything that he has done in his time to Miami, and acquiring this space was a perfect opportunity. Pancho Ibanez, for those who don't know, is our culinary director for Showa Hospitality, and, you know, concept creator of Bistro Ocho. He built out our menu for us, and it's an incredible menu. And he was the CDC of Pujol, you know, from 2013 to 2018, I believe it was.
Legendary restaurant.
Legendary, man. It was funny, when I first got this job, I went back to Chef's Table season 1, episode 3 with Enrique Olivera and doing Pujol. You see Pancho walking in the background. He's got a few lines. I was like, oh, that's my Pancho. I love it. You know, but to have him bring all of his experience that he has and knowledge of the kitchen, the modern Mexican kitchen, to bring it to Miami, I think was such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
You know, you go around and you go to these Mexican restaurants and you get tortillas that are a little harder, crusty on the edges, you know. You'll get salsas that kind of hit and then they disappear. And
Right.
it's like you're wondering, where's all the flavor?
Yeah.
You know, and there's no shortcuts in our kitchen. There's no shortcuts in our methodic approach to food. From the moment we order it to the moment we receive it to the moment we treat it, prep it, cook it, and serve it to you. Like, there's a lot of, you know, consideration into all of this. And people come in, especially the ones who are born and raised in Mexico or have lived and experienced in Mexico, you know, to give them that sensation of being back
Right.
when they're here in Little Havana.
Yeah.
You know, 10 minutes from Brickell, 15 minutes from Coral Gables and
Yeah.
Coconut Grove, you know, and to hear their response to the ums and the ahs, you know, like, oh man, it's such a great feeling. You know, you're at a good spot when you can make people feel like that, you know. And we are a hidden location. There's no doubt about it. You know, these beautiful windows that we have, you know, cloud your vision until your curious mind decides to open the door,
Right.
you know, and you step in and you're blown away. There's been so many people that have peeked their heads in, and then I see them that same week for dinner. You know?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's also cool from the guest perspective too, because you don't, you kind of, it allows for you to get transported, right? You walk through these doors and you could kind of see what's going on outside, but you know, because the thing is, this is a little strip mall, right? It's a little strip, so like right in front of us, the view is the parking lot. So why
Absolutely.
just have that, just block it off and it still lets the natural light in and the street light in, but you really are transported when you walk in
Yeah,
here.
I feel like the windows are amazing because if it wouldn't be like that, then like I feel like it would take you out of like how beautiful the space is.
Yeah.
Well, trying to capture the wow effect, it's a very hard thing to do. And you can't just manipulate that. You really have to have all these factors working in your favor. There's so many people that were like, oh, I wish you had these windows open so we can see how beautiful it is inside. And I was like, well, then when you step inside, that feeling of how beautiful it is gone. Or it's dissipated, it's diluted. And it's like, we have a sign on the roof that you can barely see because there's a giant, beautiful tree here,
Right.
full flush, tree. You can't see it.
No.
These windows, what I love about these windows is the impact on light that it does. So it separates all the lights in horizontal lines. When you're stepping in here and you've heard the good music that we have here,
Yeah. Music is,
and there's a feeling of just tranquility and ease, and you're in a living room, you look at the windows, and at nighttime, it just looks like cars are flying like fast, like that kind of lifestyle. You super fast, and here you are relaxed, having a wonderful dinner and good conversation. What a great feeling,
How is the traffic coming in here? Because from the outside, unless you Googled it or something, like, do you get a lot of people like curious about it or?
This is a very much word of mouth kind of establishment.
if you know, you know.
Yeah. We want you to know, but we want you to find out, in the ways that are more organic and that feel right, like we do extend an arm to invite you in, but we don't, pay for that
Yeah, we don't
arm
force
to
you.
extend
Right.
out, and
Right.
and force feed you, we like to impact guests and have them talk about us,
Yeah.
So we definitely have some amount of traffic from people who are visiting Sandwich and Taco Stand. They're kind of walking by, they see something here, they open the door, and sure enough, they get wowed. But more often than not, and I speak to all my guests that come in here, anybody who dines here is, remembers conversing with me. I asked them, I was like, how'd you hear about us? And more often than not, it is through word of mouth.
Right.
Through somebody who recommended it, somebody who's experienced it.
That is the best.
It's the best. You're getting a crowd that understands either a perception of what they're getting into and then letting us wow them all the way and define it, or you're getting people who are just curious and love food and love an experience that, there's a lot of restaurants where we go to in Miami now, and it's like you lose your voice the next day because you've been screaming to have a
Right.
conversation over dinner. Like, since when? Right?
Yeah.
So here it's like the different kind of feeling.
I was shocked. I was in Italy like 2 months ago, and I'm so used to walking in and like my ears being like, hey, like there's really loud music in here, and like I'm hearing all the conversations that are happening, and I'm eating, and I'm like, there's no music. Like 30 minutes in is when I noticed that there was no music, and I was like,
Because it was so quiet.
quiet. But I was, you get there, you're having a conversation, you're looking at the menu,
Right.
like you don't notice.
Yeah.
And then I started to be aware, and I'm like, oh my god, there's no music. And the music was like the dance of the restaurant, like
Yes.
the plates, the forks.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I mean, it can sound like an orchestra to some of us.
Absolutely.
No, for sure.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, right?
Especially when you hear the espresso machine going, that with the things.
To me, it's the shaker tins.
The shaker
Oh,
tins,
man,
yeah.
the shaker tins always get me. It's always a nice sound for me.
It is a nice sound. It is a nice sound.
Well, I mean, speaking of shaker tins, I mean, the bar program here is something that is definitely something we're very, very proud of.
Just to know who's behind it.
Yeah, I mean, we were super blessed. I mean, Pancho, in his time at Pujol, also had, the pleasures of working alongside Ellie Martinez when she was with them. So when Pancho was given this project, it was a no-brainer for him. He knew exactly who he was going to call, and sure enough, he called Eli Martinez. And Eli Martinez, I'm sure a lot of us have. Maybe we didn't know her before this year,
Right.
but we definitely all should know her by now. She just won the Bartender's Bartender Award for Top 50 Best.
So well deserved.
So well deserved. She's one of the founders of Teclan in Mexico City. That is consistently top 50, and it's this woman is, like we said earlier, she is a powerhouse, man. She is incredible. The amount of energy this 5'2" woman brings into the room livens up any darkness, man. She has an amazing attitude, amazing approach to her methods and quality testing. You know, she's so friendly that she knows everybody. I think we should do a cocktail with this. Next thing I know, she's on the phone, like talking to like the mezcaleros,
Yeah.
you know, the people that are really in charge, making batches. She's like, "What do you think about this? Can we get this?" And it's just like, I didn't even need to talk to my rep, man.
Right.
It's amazing. Ellie Martinez is incredible, and her palate is like top notch.
I think that's such an interesting thing that we're seeing now, right? With people like Ellie, and there's a bunch of other bartenders that have gotten big like that have these connections with mezcaleros or maybe rum makers or whatever. Because I'm curious to see what's going to happen in the next few years, where you're going to have a spirit or specifically for a specific cocktail program. Think about that. Like if Ellie says, you know, hey, I'm opening up in Calle Ocho and we want to do something with Jamaica or, you know, whatever, right? And then the
Tequila Ocho, what's up?
right.
It makes perfect sense.
Right. Like, hey, I want to make, like, you guys have this gin Condesa that's made from La Tuna, the prickly pear that grows on, which who would have thought, like, years ago, you would have never heard of a gin made with prickly pear, right? So think about how delicious that can be, especially in a Mexican restaurant. So I think that once, you know, because of what's been happening in the bar scene, in the cocktail world, you know, there's the evolution of spirits is just nonstop.
Speaking of that, I mean, you know, it's kind of wild that you say that because I've been experiencing a lot of non-drinkers lately.
I quit drinking a year and
Yeah, I don't really
about 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah, right.
Like,
you don't really drink either.
No.
And it's funny. It's like, yeah, we are seeing a beautiful boom and an interest in the cocktail world, and definitely a growing interest. And yet, at the same time, I see and feeling a lot of growth in the healthy. You know, I don't want to drink anymore. So now a lot of these, you know, NA spirits are coming out now and making more of a mark. And it's almost like restaurants now. You should have an NA cocktail program.
For sure.
Like, it's only going to benefit you.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah, you
I
can charge
mean,
$14 for
part of
juice. It's great.
Yeah.
Part of the requirement to be in the top 50, you have to have
Cocktails?
non-alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but you know, I think that's, we've talked about it before on the show. It's a couple of things, right? It's like everything. Politics, the stock market, everything overcorrects. It swings so hard one way that it swings back the other way, and then eventually it ends up back in the middle, right? So I think that because of COVID, so many people went so hard, right? Because everybody became a home bartender, right? Everybody became a home bartender. Everybody became a home baker. Everybody became, so like now we're out of it. It's 5 years since COVID. People realized that, hey, that outfit that I wanted to wear doesn't fit anymore, right? So it's like we start living a healthier lifestyle. Plus, also the younger generation doesn't drink like we drink.
Dude, no way, man.
Papa, we used to pregame
way.
the
You can't
pregame.
hang.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? We used to pregame to go tailgating and then drink
Attend the
at the game
Yeah.
and then drink after the game and then sober up in the parking lot and, you know, enough and then drive home. We used to pregame the clubs. We used to pregame restaurants because, like, you know, we were, a lot of times we did it because we were broke and it was just easier to buy a bottle and just start doing shots at your house, and then you had to buy less at the bar.
I just think it was more,
but it was the culture.
It was part of the culture.
Yeah,
man.
it was the culture.
You know,
I feel like I got the last few years
of the pregame?
of the pre-gaming.
of the good days.
Yeah. I of the days we won't remember.
Yes, a lot of people are, cut out the pregame and then they
Yeah.
cut out the game entirely, and
That's so funny.
gotta respect it, but also gotta, as far as being in the restaurant business and, your, your cash cow is the spirits,
For sure. No, it is.
You still gotta find
It
a
is.
way.
No, and there's still people, like even people that don't drink, right, will come out to a restaurant, have one or have some wine or whatever, right?
Mhm.
Like I know plenty of people like Ellie, you don't really drink,
Yeah,
but
I don't
when
drink, but I will order like whatever I want to try. Like I will order it.
yeah,
I'll have whatever I want to have of it, and then
yeah,
Well, to me, I live a very you know, I'm very firm on my lifestyle of going out to eat.
Yeah.
I go out often to eat, too often.
yeah.
And to me, the consumption of alcohol, when you see it as I'm getting drunk tonight,
No, it's
you're
different.
ruining the experience you
Experience.
should be having.
Yeah,
It should be complimentary,
Sure.
the food and the drink should be complimentary.
Yeah.
Understanding, your palate, understanding your consumption, like you need to be aware of these things and you can have a wonderful relationship with alcohol. However, you need to care about
Balance.
that deeper level, when you're drinking the right wine with the right food, it does. I'll never forget this. I don't know if you guys remember, maybe you remember Tallulah.
Yeah,
Used to be on Miami Beach.
Yeah.
It's an incredible restaurant
Yeah,
back in the day. I can still, like right now, I can do it. I'm closing my eyes and I'm taking myself back to Nickel and Nickel, Bonfire Vineyards, Zinfandel, along with a cherry braised pork shank. That was just the combination of the two. Like I can still
Yeah.
feel it. Like it gives me feelings inside, and when you're able to capture that, when you're able to understand that and like drive yourself towards it, hopefully whoever you're going to go see, restaurant, bartender, server, has a little bit of that knowledge too that can help
Right.
guide a person, and when we ask the questions. But that's the key of drinking, man. Like the key of drinking is to have it complement. Too many people abuse it, and it's got a bad rep,
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not the booze's fault.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Definitely not. It is what it is.
It's never the
It
booze's
says
fault.
it clearly on the label. This
Right.
is what I am.
Right.
Very clearly on the
I
label.
told you on the first day you wanted to date her.
Yes. Listen, you as a person don't have a label that clearly defines who you are. Then you need to be able to act it,
Right.
Act it out.
But I
Frankie-
think, I think it's good for the industry to kind of accept whatever the crowd is throwing at us. It's like, for example, like, people wanted a little more than just like a basic gin, and then these gins were
Right.
created. People want a little less alcohol, more healthy lifestyle, and then all these amazing brands are coming out with
Right.
syrup proof.
Well, I'm at the best place I can ask for with a mezcal selection like we have, and to be able to be in a platform like Bistro Ocho where we can educate our guests who come in on
Yeah.
the benefits of enjoying mezcal and knowing how to understand it. Some of this mezcal can get up to like 52%,
Right.
and you're waking up with no hangovers,
Right.
You're feeling great, it's a wonderful feeling, and that's probably why they're always so happy all the time.
What's your day-to-day look like? Like how do you decompress from? Because I'm sure you're putting in a lot of hours over here, especially as a GM.
Yeah, I
You don't really
mean,
have a bar manager or a lead bartender.
no, I mean, I got my fam, and I got my work fam, and I got between Pancho and Ellie helping me out here. But
Yeah.
like, I'm the type of individual that like I was clearly born for this business. I can live in a restaurant if they gave me permission to. I would. I'd love being inside of a restaurant, whether it's with guests or not. I probably like to clean the restaurant more than I like to clean my own apartment.
Hmm.
I love being at the restaurant. So, 5 days of the week, I'm here. My 2 days off, which is hospitality standard, Monday,
Right.
Tuesdays.
Monday,
You're here.
Tuesdays. Yeah.
Monday, Tuesdays. I like to, book out my schedule.
Yeah.
I'm not the type that likes to spend time at home.
For
And
sure.
I'm not a yogi by practice. I think by soul I am, but not by practice. I love the water. I love the sun. I attempted to skateboard again at Skateboard. This is
Wow.
right there on my street. Well, I learned that it wasn't as good as it was when I was 16, 17, 18, and 19.
And that's why I
Yeah.
switched to longboard.
To
and I
longboards.
just
I
cruise
know,
now.
man. It was so funny. I love the shortboard, and I love doing my tricks, even though I lost most of them. But I love being active, and
Yeah.
I love supporting the hospitality industry. So even on my times off, I'm at Barbucci or I'm at vice versa.
Nice.
I'm at different bars and restaurants, trying to link up people so we're all together.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I really don't have time for sleep or time to lay around.
No,
Yeah,
there's nothing
I don't want time for that.
What's funny is I got to a point where I found I had a little extra time on my hands, and that's when I started the podcast.
What is free time?
Yeah,
I'm like, wait a minute, why am I home right now? No.
Yeah.
There's got to be something to be done here.
yeah. Dude, and I've always tried, definitely a jack of all trades, master of none. Like I am definitely by definition for sure that. I spent years skateboarding, years playing volleyball.
Nice.
I was years in a band here in Miami for like 7 years. I was in a band.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What was the band?
The Hoi Polloi. Man.
Hoi
The
Polloi.
Hoi Polloi, bro.
What
We
did you
had
was
amazing. No, man, we
Sounds
were.
like a name.
I know, right? But hoi polloi is a Greek term. It means like the people,
people.
So we had a kind of like within the rock genre, we were very mixed.
Okay.
The original members of the band, like all four of us came from different musical backgrounds. Our drummer was super punk. Our guitarist was very like electronic, and then our front man was like rap and like and then I come from a classical background playing piano. Yeah. And yet when we came together, we would like have this style of rock, but then like one song would be like very punk driven. Yeah. We did one song that was like 8 minutes long in Spanish, inspired by The Cure, Fascination Street. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
It's very Miami.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of cultures, like a lot of backgrounds.
Yeah.
Together.
You should see our music videos. It's very Miami too.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, man, we got a lot of very cool videos out there, and I like to do it all. I like to be involved in a variety of different things. I did a podcast. The early late night show. It was a beautiful concept that I created. Being a huge fan of Jay Leno and Letterman and Conan and stuff. Like I basically took that business model and replicate it on a local level. So every week I would have 4 segments that would be exactly the same: a local bartender, a local entrepreneur, a local artist, and a local musician. And then it will just be a different guest, all locals, uniting communities, bringing all these different genres together in one space, having them meet. And it was really cool and being able to showcase them. And then we'll have like funny segments, little comedy skits. We had like 6 different like styles that we would just like to a show. This time we'll do jokes du jour and traffic report, and then this time we'll do this day in history and something like that. But it was super fun. I mean, we did it out of Junior and Hatter, the barber shop that was in Wynwood the first year. Second year, we had like a live studio kind of vibe with Midtown Miami Magazine filming us with Facebook Live.
Okay.
Yeah. He took half of our videos with him. I haven't seen them, but some of them are still up on Facebook. But that too this is so fun. Like doing podcasts,
it is
getting interviews out of people and great conversations out of people, and like connecting people. Like we're work neighbors, and we haven't met until today.
I know.
Which is really cool. Like these types of activities should be more frequently happening. I think the city would grow a lot faster if we did this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
If we had 1% of what New York does on a day, by day, it would be so much fun.
It's. I think my camera.
Miami's like up and growing, but I think it's going into a good direction.
For sure. I mean, we are one of the younger cities. I think New York probably has like 100-something years on us, right?
Yeah, and I mean, in reality, Miami didn't really start becoming a city until like the 50s.
Yeah, so
it's
we are growing fast. Yeah, I just think we need a little bit less of the superficial, stereotypical view of Miami.
The problem is, I was actually having this conversation with a buddy of mine recently, and we were talking about how there's a lot of cool stuff here. Right, there's a lot of cool stuff here that isn't the club restaurants, that isn't the bullshit, right? But what happens is, right, people come down here to visit, and what do they have in their minds?
That's
It's the
exactly
Miami
it.
Vice. It's the
That's
you know
exactly
the
it.
clubsterons. It's the let me find the OnlyFans girls and the cocaine and
It's
let's
a
go have
spring
a.
break.
It's the
Yeah.
spring break vibe,
Yeah.
right? So even though as Miamians we don't want to showcase that light, right? But at the same time, we got to make money. So I get both sides of it.
Yeah, I mean, you bring up a very strong conversation topic. You know, like it sucks when I went to New York and had conversations and getting to hear what their perception of the Miami people was like. It was kind of like, dude, this sucks.
Oh, it's awful.
I can't believe this is what
It's
you people
awful.
think.
Yeah,
Like, this is insane, but this is what we're putting out.
that's what we're putting out.
And listen, like, I get what you're saying, you know, like you need to make money. But you also can be creative. You can also take it the next step further and add a little bit of something instead of copy paste.
Right.
We got a lot of copy paste going on.
Too much.
We got a lot of copy paste going on.
How many
This is
steakhouses
the
have opened up in the
formula.
past year? How many quote unquote steakhouses?
Mm.
Like everything's a fucking steakhouse now.
And well, yeah, man. I mean, I love me a steakhouse.
No, listen, steakhouses
Man, I love
are
me a
great.
I
steakhouse.
can't even.
Steakhouses are great,
Yeah.
but when you're a lot of these places that are calling themselves steakhouses aren't even really steakhouses.
Yeah. I mean, it's a mixed board of you know, the popular food items that catch on Instagram.
Right.
You know, those you'll find those in every menu. But you know, I'd love to see, you know, the mom and pop shops definitely thrive more. But
Absolutely.
it takes courage, I would say, from restaurant owners. You know, if numbers are the only reason why you're in this business,
You're in the
then
wrong
I
business.
get it. But
You're in
Yeah,
the wrong
you're in the wrong
business.
business.
you're in the business that you chose, you know, but it's not, you know, I can't be in full agreement with it because I feel like the locals are getting, you know, the worst part of the whole deal.
Yeah.
And I think it's very fun for a local to entertain a friend that's visiting Miami,
Yeah.
to take them to some of these really cool spots that, you know, are, you know, popular in the mainstream and stuff. Also,
Yeah,
like,
but you could do
we're
that.
not all just party, man. Like,
Right.
On
gosh,
Friday,
we're just people too. Like that, we like normal things too. We like going to markets. You know, we like running in the mornings.
Right.
Going to beaches. We like having a conversation at the dinner table. Like, it's not. Somebody told me one time. This is funny. Good time to say it. Somebody told me one time. You know, LA is where you go to be somebody. New York is where you go to because you are somebody. Miami is where you go to be somebody you're not. I was like, God damn, I hate how right that is, man. You know, and
yeah.
and then it's like, shoot, like, I really think that we have a really great community here in Miami of amazing people, and
Yeah.
I know because I talk to so many of them, and I get myself involved in
Yeah.
their lives, and bro, we are nothing like what people think we are. You know, the perception that
Not at
people
all.
have. You know, people come in, they throw dirt on us by, you know, renting out their big yachts and renting out all the clubs and the tables and
Yeah.
living this looking lavish, you know, when to me the lavishness of this city comes from like the common, you know,
Right.
the common folk. I love them.
The other
Yeah,
day,
man.
I had a guest at the bar. He asked for a drink, and I'm like, "Oh, may I see your ID?" He's like, "I'm a famous Canadian TikToker." I was like, "That's so cool.
Get out.
Can
Yeah.
I see your ID?"
Yeah, it's so wild.
And then he proceeds to ask, "What is the best drink to record?
Record.
Do you want to have a good drink, or do you just want like a show?"
Yeah.
Did you make?
Huh?
What did you make?
No, I was like, "This is what we have for," because we were in happy hour,
Yeah, yeah.
and I was like, "I rather you enjoy like something from happy hour, and then if you want to go outside of that, then we can do that."
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Give me one of those.
the
I'm a famous Canadian TikToker.
You know, and it's really, you know, what's within our control is all we can focus
Yeah.
on, right? And like, you know, we're not going to be able to change what somebody's coming in as, but we can change how they go out, you know. And that's like one of those opportunities that, you know, somebody's giving you right now to like, you know, educate or just like, you know, open a veil for somebody, you know, open a curtain and
Yeah.
like, listen, like not everything needs to be looking better than it tastes.
Right.
Like some things need to taste better than they
Right.
look. And I love a minimalistic approach,
Yeah.
to cocktails. I love Ellie and Pancho's approach to their food and drink. It is so minimal.
Yeah.
It is simple but not easy. Like that is
Simple,
well,
easy.
that's our model here.
Yeah.
Simple pero no sencillo, and it is something that, I think to me, I appreciate a lot more than glitter, glitter, gold, burning this, smoking that, golden steaks coming out of suitcases, like some of that stuff is just like, bro, that's to me, it's not a sign of respect to what we do,
Yeah.
hospitality is something's happened. I don't know when, but something has happened where hospitality has like molded into like an entertainment industry. It's like, we're not entertainment, man. Like,
Yeah.
we were here to provide quality in food and drink, provide a hospitable service where people can feel comfortable and feel great and remember the feeling. Because we eat 3 times a day, we eat 365 days a year.
Yeah.
It's not that easy to remember a meal, but it is easier to remember a feeling that you had,
I have
when
one
you had a special meal.
of my favorite quotes of all time is Maya Angelou. People may forget what you do for them, but they'll never forget how you made them feel.
100%.
And that's, by the way, wait, is this coming from the kitchen or is this your?
Yeah.
Oh man, this is. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna get picked up on audio, but they got the old school salsa playing, and I'm loving it. I feel like where's the cocina?
I'm about to get up.
Where's the cocina? I feel like this is like Noche Buena.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, is like we could easily make a meal at home for ourselves, especially nowadays with YouTube and recipes and all that stuff, right? But you go to a restaurant for an experience.
Yes, sir.
And it's not necessarily entertainment, even though it can be entertaining, right? If you sit at the bar and you're watching the bartender make, at service well, like,
well, the entertainment should be a side effect.
It's a secondary effect,
a
correct?
side effect of
For
the
us,
experience
like,
you're having.
For us, for example, like people say, "Oh, can you throw again?"
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
gonna dilute your
it.
cocktail, and I'm doing this because it needs a full montage. People may think that it is part of the show, and in a way, it is, but it is a technical way for you to get the drink that you asked for.
Yeah.
Do you go to the movie theater and stop them? Oh, can you rewind that 10 seconds? I just missed it. I was looking at my phone, like.
No,
No.
but I actually, if I see a scene that I like at home, I do rewind it. My wife's
At home.
My wife hates watching a movie with me. She's like, "Oh my god, you're gonna rewind this like 10 times," and I was like, "Well, I need to catch every second." Yeah. But yes, you're right. At home.
Keyword at home.
At home. No, with those people, with those Canadian TikTok influencers, I know when they come in because they'll start taking pictures or whatever, and if I'm gonna do something that they're gonna want to see again, I'm like, "Hey, get your camera ready," and I actually fuck with them. I'm doing it to fuck with them, but they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah," they don't realize that I'm actually fucking with them.
I mean, you gotta give the people what they want.
You do. You gotta give them what they want.
Well,
To what extent?
right. Well, I mean, I think it's pretty powerful to like do the setup, like
Right.
sometimes people don't realize that, the way you're feeling, what you just experienced, what you just felt, what you just saw, like, I made that happen. You don't know. It felt organic, like, oh wow, for you. But it's like, dude, I planned that. You don't even know, And I think it's such a cool, powerful thing to do. Like sometimes, when you're working a particular cocktail that it's just proven that everybody wants to film it or whatever.
Yeah.
A little joke saying you got your phone ready, get your camera out.
That's
one of the famous lines that I'm sure a lot of us in the industry use when we serve food is like, camera gets the first bite, Yeah. It's one of those phrases that we be saying now,
camera gets the first bite.
Yeah. Where it's kind of like, you just set it up so that they can get it over with and then get back into the experience of enjoying what they're enjoying,
Right. Yeah, man.
And sometimes it's powerful to do the setup.
Frankie, as we start to wind down a little bit here and let you continue with your day,
for
your
being here.
your day off. Yes, thank you
Happy to do this.
for coming to work on your day off.
Happy to do it.
But we are the Barcode Mixer, and we like to say our motto is we live by the code. And I'm curious to know what your code is. It could be anything. It's just what is, again, your warrior ethos, what you live life by. So what is your code?
Man, I forgot that I was supposed to prepare, but I don't need
This
to.
is the only question
I don't need to.
that's actually,
Yeah.
scripted.
I mean, to me, it's really, it's very simple, man. Like, as a hospitalitarian, the pleasure that I get out of life is giving pleasure. To me, I will never take, I love to give and give and give. To be able to create an experience for somebody is what I honestly live by.
Yeah.
I don't care what it makes me go through. If it makes somebody else go through something positive in their life, that immediately brings back positivity in my life, So opening a door, pulling out a chair, remembering what you enjoyed to drink, remembering that it was your son's birthday last week, like those simple pleasures, I live by pleasing others, and the day that I get mine before you get yours will probably be the day that I die. You know what I'm saying?
That's deep, man.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's very deep.
I had a Herman Hesse quote prepared, but then I forgot how it began, so I didn't want to use it. But that comes from the heart, baby.
You sometimes when we give, sometimes we give till it hurts, right? Have you ever given till it hurts?
Well, I try to remind myself that it's going to hurt sometimes because you made a bad call on the bad receiver.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
you try to give good all you can, but
damn, yeah. Some people don't deserve it.
right. And being able to recognize that, and I'm not talking about prejudgment.
No.
Some things, in order for you to find out about somebody, you have to
Run through that wall.
let them exercise their own actions.
Right. Right.
And then you can really say, you know what? Giving to you doesn't bring you pleasure, so I'm not going to give to you. I'll
Right.
let you find your pleasure whichever way you find it,
And that's what, it could be with guests at a restaurant, or it could be with like friendship, relationships, because there's certain people that come to my restaurant that I know that no matter what you do for them,
No,
they're gonna
never
be
gonna
unhappy.
Mm.
They're always. I actually told, and this is probably the only time I've ever said this to anybody. They came in. It's a couple that comes in all the time, and they always complain about everything, and how they're British, and they were, oh, we just came back from France where we had really real French food. I work in a French place, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's great. And then like they had a salad that had tomato in it, and the guy goes, the tomatoes in Europe actually taste like tomatoes. This tastes like a tomato La Croix. And then I was like, it seems like everything's been pretty awful for you guys. And they're like, well, no, it's not awful, but everything's just so blah. And I go, I'm surprised you keep coming back. I literally told them that, and I was like, I don't know why you keep coming back. They're like, why do you do this to yourself? And they got taken. Like, I couldn't believe that I said that shit to them. Thankfully, I haven't seen them since, so it's great.
It worked.
It worked. No, they come like once a month. I think they're abroad right now, but they're gonna come back with their bullshit all over again. I know it. And I'm gonna tell them the same thing. I was like, oh, every time I see them, I'm like, oh, you came back.
If anything, that's how you build that relationship with them.
You know what?
They're spending their money on you, which is great, and then you get to go back and bash them a little bit.
The funny thing is that it's gotten to the point where nobody in the restaurant wants to even go by them.
Oh, that's terrible.
Like they're that people. Even my GM is like, I'm not dealing with them. You go talk to them. And I'm like, so now because of that, the funny thing is that I'm giving them shit. But they think I'm joking with them, so they like me even more now. And I'm like, I don't want you to like me.
I knew it.
I don't want you to like me at all.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Like, go back to England.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
But I just think, I totally get what he's saying. Because obviously,
No,
you
for
know,
sure.
like,
No, I get it.
I've been to Europe.
Here
I
in
get
Miami.
it.
Yeah.
You're in Miami right now.
Exactly.
know
Like,
what I
if you were pretending you're somewhere else, go be there.
Like, bro, when I was in Costa Rica, you know how much guanawana I had? I had guanawana coming out of my ears because the guanawana tastes like guanawana down there.
Yeah,
Guanawana doesn't
dude.
taste like guanawana here anymore. I get it, but I'm here.
Man, I love that.
You know?
I love that.
My grandma had a a famous quote. She used to say, "La mierda se saca sola."
La mierda se saca sola.
And I think I'm gonna leave it at that.
So, Frankie, give us the hours of operation here before we head out.
Yeah, so Bistro Ocho's here for you Wednesday through Sunday from 5:30 till 10 p.m. We have a bar snacks menu available
Oh, nice.
Wednesday through Sunday for individualized plates at $14 each. We have a bar tasting menu, 5 courses, $95 is gorgeous as well. We have family style dining experience in the dining room. We have an amazing sound system with great music.
So the menu is family style.
We'd like to encourage family style.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
definitely.
That's
Lots of amazing tortillas come to your table. And, you know, some cool programs that we're starting for the season. We started Mezcal School a couple months ago. Yeah, man. And the third Wednesday of every single month, we like to host specifically at the bar. So there's only 12 seats available every single month.
What time do you guys do that?
5:30 is like I do 5:30 to 7 p.m. So it feels like a happy hour kind of
So
experience.
you're doing it when your restaurant's open.
Yeah.
That's
It's fun
That's
because
a great idea.
you walk into a
That is a
restaurant, there's
great
people
idea.
at the bar, there's like a lecture going on. It's like, oh, cool, this is fun.
Yeah, that's really
you know?
nice.
And honestly, something to bring in people that's not a happy hour kind of branding kind of style, you know?
Right.
So 5:30 to 7, the class starts at 6 p.m. I invite every single month a different representative of the agave community, whether it's with a specific brand or just in general.
Yeah.
And we have a wonderful inclusive learning experience where it's not just the same old lecture that you get all the time, you know, how the pina is harvested and it takes 6 and 7 years. Like we've all heard that information.
Yeah.
Like, let's get deeper.
So-
Yeah, let's get deeper. Let's
Yeah.
find out what the families are like,
Yeah.
you know, and let's get to find out, you know, what the story of agave is like from different perspectives, you know. This upcoming one that we got coming up next week, Wednesday, I'm bringing in 3 different representatives of Sotol.
Nice.
I got Casalotos coming in, I got Cardenche coming in, and I got Acronimo coming in. No, and Sotol is one of those spirit lines that
Sotol.
is like way in the backdrop. Nobody's giving it
But
love,
it's so
but
cool.
it's cool.
It's so cool. It's delicious.
And I
It's-
thought, you know, instead of bringing one Sotol to just talk about themselves, let me bring in all 3.
Yeah.
Let's amplify the sound and the message that gets to be across.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and then we just got our mezcal cart. You know, we got this big bad boy, but we have a smaller version. And so now we have a variety of different mezcals that we get to bring tableside
That's
and
beautiful.
get people to enjoy flights or tastes, you know.
Which is also,
Um,
people don't realize it's very big in Mexico. You go
Oh,
to
yeah.
any place in Mexico and they'll do mezcal
Oh,
flights,
yeah, man.
specifically in Oaxaca.
Oh, yeah.
They'll do that.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's fun.
Just
You
so
see
nice.
the bottle,
Yeah.
you know, all the labels are super unique and made from the fibers of the piñas, you know, handwritten and stuff. Like, that's a really cool experience. Drinking
really
out
is.
of little mezcal cups, you know, hand cards. And then, like, we're trying to work out on some other cool ideas. This past Halloween, I just hosted the first ever Disco Discada, which is like a nightlife event.
Yeah.
I mixed the nightlife scene of New York City, you know, Studio 54
Nice.
with Mexico City's music scene right now is incredible.
Yeah.
The music coming out of Mexico City, the DJs are insanely awesome. So merging these 2 concepts into a nightlife party that we're going to be doing monthly. You can't believe it here, but there's a golden disco ball, there's lights, there's tables that I move out, so we're dancing in the
That's awesome.
fog with cocktails. La Routine, my DJs spinning vinyl music only from the disco era, underground cuts.
Yes.
No BG staying alive type of stuff, you know,
Right.
like deep cuts, you know, and just trying to bring that fun, excitement
For
to Little
sure.
Havana. You know, we have a lot of Cuban salsa merengue mix out here, but,
Yeah.
you know, bringing a little
know.
touch of disco would be super
Bro,
fun.
but the old
Disco,
Cubans love the disco.
for sure.
Oh my God.
For sure. Bar Nancy does a disco night. I've gone
Yeah.
over there and it's just like, whoa.
We do
Like all
Friday,
my parents
Saturday,
and friends are here. Like, what's going on?
Friday,
You
Saturday.
do 80s night, yeah.
Which
right?
is awesome.
Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So yeah, I mean, you know, and Bistro Ocho is one of those concepts that's going to continue to introduce new ideas to the guests,
Yeah.
new plates, new cocktails. You know, like trying to always keep ourselves excited to be here and doing what we do, and y'all excited to come and see us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I
Yeah.
just met you, but I know that Bistro Ocho is very blessed to have.
Oh, thank you very much.
For sure.
I'm very happy to be
Feel it.
here. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's so sweet.
And you guys are closed Monday, Tuesday?
We are closed Monday, Tuesdays.
That's awesome.
Edit that so that people don't steal our idea.
Yeah, we'll take this.
Sick, man.
Well, guys, there you have it. This has been Barcode Mixer with special guests from one half of Código de Barra. And we have Frankie Padilla from
Thank you.
Bistro Ocho. Come see Frankie over here.
Please do, please. Yeah, and we'll share some good food, some good mezcal, and good memories for
There you
sure.
go, guys.
Yeah, man.
Until next time. Cheers.
Take care. Thanks, friends.